In today's video, me and my mates are going to be running through a load of hints, tips and tricks on how to find pub stops, get the most out of pub stops and everything in between. Let's do it, shall we? Me and the motorhome are all packed up. It's been brilliant spending time with the family over Christmas and New Year. I managed to give Liam his fossil, which if you haven't been catching up with that, been following along with that, I went to Lyme Regis to look for a fossil, which, yeah, that's a whole story in itself. So I'll link to that video here if you want to watch that. But yeah, Liam loved his little fossil. He loved his teddy. Now I'm going to hit the road and go see some friends. So let's do it. Right, all parked up. Arrived at this pub. It's called the Pewsham. Pewsham. It's amazing. It's brilliant. It's got this little parking area here where we all are, out the way of the main car park. As you can see, we're all parked up there. There's 5 of us all parked up. Not a problem. Not in anyone's way. And they've got a lovely pub, which is also like a coffee shop. Yeah, it's really nice. It's got like when you walk in, it's got like loads of little loungy seats and everything, and coffee shop with like homemade cakes and everything. But then they've got really nice food menu. We was in there last night and we're in there again tonight, and it's, yeah, absolutely brilliant. The food was amazing. I had what did I have last night? I had wild boar sausage and mash, and it was and clotted cream rice pudding, absolutely amazing. But it's just going to be a really chill weekend. Not really going to film much, to be fair. We're just chilling out with mates. I love these kind of things. In the winter, I love meeting up with my mates, doing a pub stop. We can all hang out together, have a little chat, have a little catch up, and just have some good food, and that's it really. But that's I'm going to be doing another couple of pub stops later in the week. So I'll take you along for that as well, because, I'll show you a few pub stops. But yeah, this is the Pewsham. I'm going to put it up on the screen now where exactly it is, because it is a really nice place.
So when we are looking for a pub stop, we have to be a little bit more careful with our planning now, because this van is 9 metres long, and so it does make it a little bit more tricky. So I go on the Park for Nights app or search for sites, have a look round, find a pub stop on our route or at our destination, and make sure that I read everything on the reviews to see what others have said that have stayed there before, and always call ahead just to double check that they've got space and that they can actually accommodate a van of your size.
Once Dora's got the park up located, I jump on Google Maps and have a quick recce of the car park itself on the satellite view, just to make sure we're happy and there's room. But more importantly, I'm checking the access to the pub, because it can be tight. So using the street view, you can literally do a virtual drive along the road to check the approach is big enough to enable this van to swing in. And
always have a backup as well. Probably 2 or 3 backups, especially in our instance, because we have arrived before and maybe there's been a vehicle parked there or it's full. So it's always wise to have backups.
And never ever squeeze, because it always ends in failure.
Another day, another park up at a pub stop. Today I'm at the Boycott Arms in Wolverhampton. Yeah, never been here before. I'm meeting up with John and Mandy. There we go. And then Tasha's arrived. I don't know if she thinks we smell or not, but she's parked all the way down there. But yeah, so we're all parked up. I haven't seen John and Mandy for I think since Lincoln show. Yeah, so we thought we'd meet up because we've just got some time now, and then we're all splitting off different ways. But yeah, so Mandy found this place, nice big car park. Obviously I need a big car park for the land yacht. But yeah, they've got a nice menu, so that should be pretty good. We're gonna have a meal in there tonight, we'll have some drinks, chill out, and yeah, just catch up with everyone. I love these pub stops, I really do. My first top tip with pub stops is use Google Maps, and you zoom in and look at you can just find any pub. You can just type in pubs, but then zoom in on Google Maps and look at the size of the car park. If it's tiny, then motorhomes are big relatively, all the way, shape and form. Even vans are big. So if you've got a really small car park, then yeah, it's not gonna work. So I would always zoom in, have a look at the car park, and if it's a big car park, then you're pretty much 99% of the time onto a winner. And yeah, you can give them a call, and then yeah, just turn up and see if they're good to go. But yeah, that's my first top tip. Use Google to look at the size of the car parks. Right, John, so we're at a pub stop.
Yes.
I love pub stops.
Oh, yes.
I'm not going to tire you with a bad name and say that you're always at pub stops, because well, you've done a fair few.
There is that. Yeah.
We do like pub stops.
Yeah.
Have you got any top tips for staying at a pub stop or finding pub stops?
I mean, there's the apps to go from straight away.
Yep.
So there's filters in Park for Night.
Yep.
Search for Sites has pubs as well. And then the Wild Camping app has pub stops as well.
Good tips.
And then there's obviously the book Brit Stops.
Yeah. Brit Stops is good. Yeah, it's a nice hard copy on that one.
Yep.
And they tell you all
They've
the
got
facilities.
an app as well now.
Yeah, and they tell you all the facilities and when they're open, when they're not.
Yeah.
If they accept dogs and this, that, and the other. And
Yep.
yeah, that's pretty good.
But the tips that I would say is find a nice pub, which is pretty much what we did here,
Yeah.
and just ring them up and say, you know, we're coming in the camper van, there's 2, 3 of us, whatever, having a meal, and is it going to be all right to stay over? And so far, we've only had a couple that said no. Sometimes you might get ones or twos, like they'll say, oh yeah, we've got a campsite attached to the pub and it's 15 quid a night.
Yeah.
And then you can choose then if you want to do it and everything. But yeah, there's always a pub.
On the whole, I've never really... I think we had, when we were travelling around once, there was a few that we wanted to go to, but they weren't dog friendly, were they?
Yeah, that
so
was...
we couldn't go into them
Yeah.
ones. But apart from that, we've never really had any problems with
No.
ringing them up, because they want the business. And
Yeah,
usually, some of these country pubs, some have got minute car parks,
Yeah.
but other ones have got... There's no real middle, is there?
There isn't. It's either nice like this,
Massive,
or there's 4, and then when someone's got a land yacht, it causes a bit of an issue.
I don't know what you mean.
The rest of us have got normal sized vehicles.
Or mini vehicles.
Tash is trying to make up for yours, I think.
yeah, Tash is over there. We think she thinks we smell, but
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, nice tips, cheers, mate.
Yeah, no worries. And yeah, pub stops for the win. I mean, like, fair enough, you might argue it costs a lot more money, but if you look at it this way, you're paying sometimes £40 a night now for a pitch.
Yeah.
You can go in this. Last night there was, what was it, 2 meals for 20 quid?
Yeah, and it's not that, it's also that is, campsites are charging per adult as well.
Yeah.
A lot are charging per adult. So if you've got a couple in a motorhome, it's going to be, it's £15 it's advertised, but then that's the pitch, and then it's per adult on top.
Yeah.
So you put all that in, and then you could have a couple of meals and a drink.
Exactly, yeah.
We spoke to John, we've got his tips. Now Mandy, pub stops.
Pub stops.
Hints and tips.
Hints and tips. So my big hint would be to not use a pub stop like a campsite.
Yep.
That they are 2 different things. If you want to sit outside your van, if you go to a pub, sit in the beer garden or sit in the pub. Don't get your chairs and things outside of your van.
Yeah, it does look a bit. It looks a bit weird as well, doesn't it?
And it's like, because generally you'll be drinking your own drinks. I mean, I know you do that anyway, but if it's best if the pub can't see you doing it.
Yeah, you want to be able to give back to the pub because you're using their car park and their facilities.
Yeah, I mean, I found it really good because I know these, like a time, like you say, winter.
Yep.
Better for pub stops.
Yeah.
But in the summer, I mean, I was out all day in Cornwall.
Oh, yeah.
And I was out, and I'd make the most, I'm a skinflint, so I'd make the most of my parking. I'd like stay to the very last minute and then go to a pub because I didn't want to pay for campsite fees if I wasn't getting there till 6 o'clock at night.
If you're arriving late, like you say, then there's no point, is there? Because you've got to be off by what?
Sometimes it's 11,
10, 11 o'clock, isn't it?
So it's better to go stay at a pub. They don't mind you staying till 10 or 11 in the morning.
No.
So it's definitely good to use them like that, I think.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing because you can use them as well in prominent areas, can't you? To then explore.
Yeah, because a lot of them are really well placed for good walks or the beaches or places like that. So.
Yeah, wicked. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
I'm out here right now and I'm seeing all the private plates. Tash has got hers on, John's got his on, Mandy's got hers on, and yeah, I haven't got mine on. I do need to put my plate on. People have asked me this question: are you putting your number plate, your private plate on? And yeah, I will be putting that on. As soon as I get back from Turkey, I'll be putting that on, and getting that sorted, because I don't even know where, I think the retention slips are buried in there somewhere. But yeah, I will get that on, and then I'll get the plates and then put them back on, rightfully where they belong. Urban, the urban land yacht, yes. There we go, another successful park up at a pub stop. Really nice night last night. They got a lovely roaring fire in there. The food was really good. We all had a nice food. Had a little dessert. Yeah, it was really nice. We just stayed in there having a nice little drink, talking, catching up. That's what these pub stops are about, you know. It's really nice to catch up with your mates and just, you know, chill out. I can't say anything about the sleep. The park up was brilliant. I mean, it was so quiet, so silent. It was, yeah, no one bothered us. Just, yeah, really, really, really nice park up. And yeah, all good to go. I think we're all going to split ways now. We're all heading different parts of the country. That's the beauty of these, you know, can meet up at one point, you know, have a bit of a food, have a catch up, and then continue on our ways until we meet up again. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed this video, guys, and I hope you've enjoyed the hints, tips and comments for pub stops. If you've got any hints, tips or comments on parking up at pub stops, finding pub stops, or anything around that subject, then drop them in the comments below. I'd love to see them, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take it easy. Bye. There we go, some banging hints, tips and tricks there for pub stops. If you've got any yourself, drop them in the comments below. If you like this video, you'll probably love following along with me to try and find park ups in urban areas and how I find water full time for the last 7 years. Make sure you check out them videos and I'll catch you in the next one.